Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We learned in the previous, we learned in Mishna Yevamos, Parak Vav, chapter 6, Mishna Gimel, Mishna 3. So we learned in the previous Mishnah that that a woman who cohabits with a man that she's forbidden to, she can become invalidated from marrying a Kohen, or if she was a daughter of a Kohen, she becomes invalidated from eating the truma from her father's home. So now the Mishnah says like this: Amana the Kohen Gadol. If an Amana becomes betrothed to a Kohen Gadol, Amana to a Kohen Gadol, Rusha v'chalutza l'Kohen Hedyet, a divorcee or a woman who received chalitza to a regular Kohen, Minha Erisin. If we're talking about that all she had with these people she's forbidden to was Erisin, was Kedushin. They didn't go to the chuppah, because if they go to the chuppah, you assume there was cohabitation. But now we're talking about that we're at the stage right now of only Erisin, the betrothal. You know, the way we do it nowadays is we do Erisin, you give the woman a ring, but that's Erisin, that's Kedushin, and then right there, we're under the chuppah, we finish the marriage right there. But in times in the Mishnah, and even later than that, Kedushin was done at one time, and a year later you had the chuppah. So we're talking about right now where the situation is that this almana, let's say, who is forbidden to cohabit with the Kohen, she's right now just betrothed to him. She's betrothed to him. No, the marriage has not yet been completed. Nonetheless, the Mishnah says that lo yoichlu b'truma. The halacha is that from the time of the erisin and onward, this woman may not eat truma. So she's the daughter of a Kohen. She's daughter of a Kohen. And she happens to also be an almana. She's a widow. Now, as a widow, she's now backed by her father, and she can eat her father's truma. Now she goes ahead and she gets engaged she gets betrothed to a Kohen Gadol. That's not good, but that's all she is right now. She's just betrothed. So the Mishnah says, even though she's just betrothed and no cohabitation has taken place, because cohabitation is not permitted only after Erisin, nonetheless, she still cannot eat truma as if she had cohabited. The sages said that a woman who is basically awaiting a forbidden cohabitation, she's awaiting. She's betrothed to the Kohen Gadol, or she's a divorcee or chalusa betrothed to a Kohen. So when you're betrothed, what's the plan? At the end of the day, the plan is to finish the marriage and to cohabit. So now this woman who's been betrothed to a person she's not allowed to be married to, she is in a state of awaiting a forbidden cohabitation. She's in a state of awaiting to become a woman who is a halala, she can't have, and she can't eat truma. So even though it hasn't happened yet, that which the Torah says makes her a halala, that which the Torah says actually disqualifies her from eating truma, which is cohabitation, hasn't happened yet. Once she is betrothed, once she has erisin, which means she's in a state of awaiting a forbidden cohabitation, we're ready to treat her like she has done that, and she may not eat the truma. Now, this is what the Mishnah is strongly implying, is that when a woman becomes an arusa, all right, let's not go there. All right. So the point is that right now that even though her father is a Kohen, she's even betrothed to a Kohen, nonetheless, she cannot eat the truma from her father, because since she is, so to speak, awaiting a forbidden cohabitation, that already renders her disqualified from eating truma. Rebbe Eliezer, Rebbe Shimon Machshirin. The sages, Rebbe Eliezer and Rebbe Shimon, say that she is qualified. Machsher, she's kosher. She's eligible to be able to eat the truma. She hasn't yet cohabited, which means she hasn't yet become actually a halala. She hasn't become, according to Torah law, yet disqualified. And according to them, the fact that she is just awaiting a forbidden cohabitation does not render her disqualified from eating the truma. The Baratunura points out that the halacha is not like Rebbe Eliezer and Rebbe Shimon here. The halacha is like the Tanakama, which would mean that once she is betrothed to the person she's forbidden to cohabit with, she will become disqualified from eating truma. Now, now let's say the rest of the story is she was betrothed to the Kohen Gadol, and then the Kohen Gadol died. So she's widowed from him. Or you divorced her. He's got to give her a divorce. If he betrothed her, then he's got to give her a divorce. According to the way we follow. That even though she's prohibited to him, since she's not an Ereva, there's no death punishment involved here, then the Kedushin takes effect. And if he's got to give her a get in order to allow her to marry somebody else. So let's say that's what happened. In either case, where the woman was either the almana, the widow was betrothed to the Kohen Gadol, the divorcee was betrothed to the Kohen, and that person who she was betrothed to either died or divorced her. Okay, now says the Mishnah. So what's now? What's her status now? So the Mishnah first says mina nesuin psulos. If this happened after nesuin means after she went to the chuppah, after the wedding was completed. If it happened that she had gone to the chuppah, that means the marriage was completed, and then the man she was forbidden to cohabit with died or divorced her, the halacha will be psulish. She's still disqualified. After nisuin, after she goes to the chuppah, after things are completed, the marriage is completed, the assumption is there was cohabitation, which means that therefore she, for sure, unquestionably, became disqualified. But if it's minha erisin, if all she went through was erisin, either with the man she was forbidden to marry, and then he divorced her or he died, which means the assumption is there was no cohabitation, ksheres, she's back to eating truma. The Mishnah means to say disqualification of when she is betrothed is only as long as she is betrothed. It's not like once she's betrothed, therefore now she's disqualified forever. It's only while she's betrothed, while she is awaiting the forbidden cohabitation, that's when we say no truma. But once that's over because the guy died or because the guy divorced her, therefore she's not awaiting the forbidden cohabitation anymore, and therefore she can go back to eating truma from her father. Okay. Now says the Chofetz Chaim, we're now going to discuss a set of halachas about what happens if the lashon hara that you hear is from someone that you trust them impeccably. They are to you like two witnesses. Or if let's say the person is mesiach lefi tumah. Mesiach lefi tumah means where a person does not have intention to give over a piece of information, but it kind of comes out by the wayside of what he's saying. Meaning he's not coming to say the lashon hara, but as part of a whole other discussion, it happens to come out this lashon hara. So it was done in innocence, so to speak. It was done just as he's talking. It came out. But there was no intent to actually say something derogatory. Let's say you have evidence that it's true. You don't witnesses, but you have strong evidence that it's true. What happens then? Even though, when it comes to most of the laws pertaining to this, they're the same. Nonetheless, I will discuss each one separately because there are, in certain ways, how they differ. And there, and another reason is because if I lump it all together, there's a lot of different branches and different details that come out. And he says this way it'll be easier to deal with. So he begins. One is not permitted to listen, to accept lashon hara, to love lashon hara, even from someone that you believe like two witnesses. Okay. Now he points out. The mutter legaloi sein the matznei la rabbi lishsaida yem yeda shayam and the rabbi kedivei shnei edim, but the rabbi lekabel the rezev listening isay letzrach mechavrasa l'shayivada leishav daikahara hainu sham shudavar shalafia emes mutter lesap begnusay aborzeh v'lasat shuva. We had before a situation where, let's say, somebody is sinning in a way that he is intentionally sinning, and you heard about what he's done, and now you want to go to his Rebbe and let him know. And we said before, if the Rebbe would believe you like two people, you're allowed to tell him. So he says, well, how is the Rebbe allowed to believe you? Didn't we just say you can't believe lashon hara when it comes from somebody you believe like two people? And that he says, over there, it's a little bit different. Because over there, we're actually talking about something that would theoretically be able, the information itself or the context of the information would actually allow you to listen. Because why? Because the whole point here is for the Rebbe to rebuke him or the Rebbe to distance himself and the other students from him. There is going to be here some kind of it's actually something that there's the potential to be able to believe it. There's a potential to be able to believe such information if there's a constructive purpose from it. In that situation, we say that although you're only one witness and you go over to the Rebbe and he'll believe you, all right, you can go over because the information itself is something that you could possibly accept or at least be concerned with, suspect, and act upon. But if we're talking about something that's beyond that, the fact that you believe the person like two isn't going to help. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful Shabbos.
Have a good Shabbos, Rabbi.
One question.